This is something I particularly like. Obviously you see a lot of broken fencing. This looks obviously a lot more resilient, robust, and aesthetically quite similar to wood. So something that I think, you know, that would be something I'd use in my garden. How do you produce that?
This one is made in the UK, again 100% recycled material. So we've designed it specifically for fencing, so it is a particular mix. And as you say, very difficult to break. So fencing has a lot of problems with children, vandalism, you know, wanting to break the tops off or break through the fencing. And this is almost impossible to do that. Certainly you can't snap the top off or push it through by hand. So you'll mainly see it in local authorities and housing association areas where they want to reduce the maintenance cost. And the beauty of this is it requires no treatment once it's installed.
Do you have to add some sort of pigmentation to produce the black, or?
Yes, you do.
Yeah. Right,
Yeah.
Okay. This looks very much like wood. This looks like wood that's been treated with a creosote or some such material.
Yes, it does, yeah. And I think one of the challenges of the product is most people don't recognise it because they walk past it and assume that it is timber.
It looks grainy. And,
so yeah, it has that grainy effect deliberately because people don't want to see a shiny, plasticky looking fence. They want to see it and believe it's wood. So yes, you have to dye it. So we only ever dye dark colours because the raw materials will be a mix of different colours, and generally they will come out as sort of oatmeal type brown, so we have to always dye it darker.
But people like using wood because it's easy to work with. How easy is it to cut and drill and screw these things together?
Yeah, really simple. When sawing it, you can use woodworking tools. The wider the teeth, the easier it is. It's a very dense material, so you want to rip through it rather than grind through it. So a wide tooth saw, if you're screwing into it, you'll always drill a pilot hole because, once again, the material's dense. With timber, the fibres will part to allow a screw in. With plastic, it doesn't do that, so you have to remove the excess. And very simple to drill.
So a normal high-speed steel drill will go through that without much trouble at all?
Absolutely, yes. Yeah, nice and simple to work with. Generally, once people have been working with it for 10 minutes, they understand the difference and away they go. It's just like a particularly dense timber.
There's not a big learning curve.
No, not a big learning curve.
Yeah. It's got a nice feel to it as well.
Yes.
Right? I could see it being quite suitable for play areas where children are involved. You're not going to get splinters.
No, there are a number of advantages. No splinters is one of the key ones. No preservative transition from the timber to the clothes is another distinct advantage. One of the big ones when it comes to furniture is that immediately after the rain you can use it straight away because the rain doesn't absorb into the timber. You don't have to wait for the product to dry. You can just brush the water off the surface and it's instantly dry.
With the decking, I know when we've done some tests previously on curbs, there was a good slip resistance. Is that the same for decking?
It is, yeah. When a plastic deck and a timber deck are both dry, they have very similar slip resistance. As soon as they become wet, then plastic comes into its own. So its slip resistance is much greater than timber when it's wet.
So it's always surprising because I always imagine it not to be that case, but I know in the tests that we've done back in the laboratory, that's been the case when we're comparing plastic against other products.
Yes, and if you think about timber, when you first come out onto your deck after the winter, timber can be quite hazardous, and that's largely because of the water on top of the algae growth on the timber. Algae doesn't like plastic. You will get some areas of algae growth on plastic, but not in the way that you do on timber, so that you don't have that instant spring slip
another plus.
challenge. Another plus,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah.